Hello, everyone. Rich Carlton here. I have people who are making sweet love to their microphones. I'm going to have to ask you to mute yourself before you get too excessively grunchy on your microphone. But I hear this coming in. It says, right, okay, so it's Friday. All sorts of etiquette and decorum have been cut out of the broadcast. I'm Richard Carlton, creator of FMTraining.tv, where we are having lots of fun. It's Friday. Thank you. It's Friday. Into the first week, business week of the new year. So we are FMTraining.tv, where you can go to FMTraining.tv, the website. So magically, the name is also the website. Up at the top, you can actually press the live button, see the upcoming broadcast schedule. We also have, my lips a little out of sync with my face. I'm not sure why that is. We also have Nick Hunter, who is floating around behind the scenes. Nick, are you there?
I'm here.
Nick
Hello.
is here. He is the backup in case someone is unable to perform on demand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check the broadcast. We also have Neil from Australia here. We're going to get to him briefly. So if you want to know the upcoming schedule, we obviously talked about that. You can go to fmtraining.tv and see that link right here. Additionally, if you want to help support the channel, we do recommend that you purchase one of our training bundles. Most of the people here have the training bundle one way or the other. If you go to the website, fmtraining.tv, you press the bundle button, you can see that right here. We greatly appreciate it because I was doing this interview the previous 2 hours, and they're like, well, how hard is it to do a daily live stream? I said, imagine doing a DevCon presentation every day. Not the same one every day, a different one every day. It's a tremendous amount of work. And they're like, oh, I'm like, damn, yeah, it's a lot of work. What do we normally do on Fridays is we do kind of a cleanup broadcast. So it's the sample files we've seen during the week, any really cool demos we've seen during the week. People have nothing to do with us. Maybe they watch us or we see a demo from someone else, but we want to show you the cool things you can do with FileMaker to be inspired by the FileMaker platform, which is truly an amazing platform, okay? So, cool. So what we have, I'm going to dial my hotline. Neil, are you there? Neil, come in, Neil.
Good morning. Good morning.
And Neil is in the UK. He's been watching us. He frequently misses the broadcast or he comes in a little bit late because it's so early, 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. Is it 8 a.m. or 7 your time?
7:30 at the moment now.
You said 7:30?
Yeah, it's 7:30 now. Yeah, we have a strange timeline here in Adelaide. We're half an hour and 30 years behind.
Okay, I thought that was just parts of India, so you guys did that too. Okay, yeah, that really screws everything up. So, yeah, I'm like, normally I just do round numbers, right? Now you're asking me to do round numbers and 30 minutes, so I'm not smart enough to handle that. So Neil has been playing with some sample files. These sample files are going to break people's brains. They're really, truly amazing. Now, I want everyone to chime in. When you see a hack, you think it's a hack, you have to write hack on the screen with exclamation point. Okay?
Oh,
when you
there's
think
hacks everywhere.
there are no hacks. Yeah, this is like super hacky. But I was thinking about this. I was looking at this demo and I'm like, man, what if Claris actually saw this and took a couple ideas and incorporated them? Because a couple ideas in here are really amazing. They're really great. So without further ado, we're looking at your screen, Neil. I'm going to go full screen. Can you kind of walk us through what you're doing and what are you doing? What are you? Who are you? What are you doing?
Sure. I'm an event manager. I run events and there have been no events. So I thought I'd come back to FileMaker, which I use pretty regularly, and try and do some things that have been messing with my brain over the last sort of 10 years that don't usually have time to do. So with this demo, I just sort of wanted to see what little micro animations we could do with FileMaker to increase the user experience, I suppose. So, the reason why, it's because we can. And the reason why it's important for other people, I suppose, is because...
I'm over here laughing because we can, right? Some of these demos are like, because we can demo, but some of them are like, I looked at some of these and went, damn, I really wish this was in the product. I really do.
Yeah, and, FileMaker has fallen behind in its interface, I think. It's got a lot of great features, but some of it's a little bit missing. So, I thought I started playing with a little bit with the animations last week, the week
So,
before.
yeah, so Neil, well, yeah, you've been doing this for a while. So Neil, why don't you, if you were a product manager at FileMaker, show us how FileMaker would work with your demo.
Hmm. Well, we're getting much more used to CSS and the sort of interactions that CSS can provide. The animations here, I suppose, are the simplest forms. Is basically you've just got to iterate some sort of counter and do something based on those types of things. So, I mean, it can be simple as a conditional formatting set on a repeating field with when the value equals the repeating field's calculation number, then it highlights green. That's not going to be much good for any of our sort of interactions because we don't really want to deal with things. We don't ever know how long that's going to take on someone's.
I'm trying to draw on the screen and it won't let me draw on the screen, but the one at the bottom was off the hook. Do it one more time. I saw this, the top one, like, bottom one. Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
So the bottom unit here is basically it's a repeating field, and there is a very simple set of. Hopefully, this is going to work for you. Did that share that the layout mode screen? Is that? Can you see the calculation repetition?
Yes, yes, we can.
Excellent, great. So that one is just a very simple repetition with different colors, color fills. So the next sort of step, I suppose, is just to animate by time. So give FileMaker an amount of time and make it do its animation in that time. So this works on working on the difference between the milliseconds since you start the script to any point in it. Whenever FileMaker gets round to the next iteration. In my screen at the moment, this is iterating 12 times. So you're not getting every single step, but you are getting it done in a particular amount of time, which is quite important when you're trying to talk about user interface stuff.
Cool. All right, this one's totally different, and I hadn't seen these before. So walk us through this.
So there was two elements I wanted to look at specifically, and that was a better toggle button and a better floating labels, I suppose. This uses 3 slide panels. It's a complete waste of to do something really quite silly, but it does show that you can utilize 3 completely independent slide panels linked together and synchronized to make something move. Utilizing 3 synchronized slide panels, I was doing for an interface for one of our iPad projects, and it just allows you to do move 3 portions of the screen sort of in synchronization, which is useful for, I mean, I don't know if anyone's dealt with the Discord program on the iPad, but it's got a sort of slide out, slide in, slide feel. I think this one's a complete waste of time. I think it was Kyle sent me a little demo of a button thing which uses the click and on the fills, which is much better. It's only 3 iterations, but it works a lot better. This is, I don't think I'd ever say anyone should ever use this one because I think it's so resource heavy in what it is. But the fact is, we can.
Yep, so we did it. We did it because we could. All right, I love it.
Exactly. So next thing I thought would be quite interesting to have a look at would be fading text in and out via a gradient, essentially. So I'll just do it over a couple of seconds. I don't know how well that's showing up on your screen.
It came across pretty good. That was pretty good. But of course, everyone can try this. But you can see the trick is it's running a script at each time, right? Is that what's happening here?
This is actually just running a single script. There's two different or three different functions in this. One is running a pure refresh on a on timer script, so they can refresh the window at any time. Lots of these. This one here, this text block is purely an unstored calculation. And I have written a little custom function which gives me a gradient value. So a color between color 1 and color 2 based on a percentage of time throughout that. So this counter chain counts from 1 to 100. And as we go through that, it gives me a percentage value. And it gives me what the value should be between and 0, 0, 0.
I like it. I like it a lot. I think this. So when I see the flashing, is this a script that's tripping, or is it just an on-screen calculation that's refreshing?
Yeah, the up here in the toolbar.
Yeah. What is that?
That's FileMaker doing a window refresh.
Okay.
On Windows, which is on Windows in this version of FileMaker. It's very annoying. I don't know. You guys don't use the Windows that much, I think, but the pause script step and window refresh has some really bad artifacts on FileMaker.
Well, for the record, this is a vastly improved interface over what they've had previously.
Absolutely, it is. Yeah.
They fixed it in 16 or 17, whenever they came up with their new, or maybe 18, they came up with the new Windows interface that made it. I felt like I wasn't back in 30 years ago, and it felt, reasonably modern. It's still kind of a little bit kind of goofy up here at the top, but
yeah.
But it mimics the Mac pretty well, which is great.
Yes.
I think a lot of us are like, we'll take what we can take as long as it's consistent between the platforms, right? As best as, at least that's my opinion, right? So, all right, cool. So let's see. Cool.
So I suppose the next scenario would be just floating labels. Something we're seeing quite a bit over the internet at the moment, where we have a label which moves as you enter into a field.
I have to have this, right? I must have it. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. So this is one of the probably the primary probably good uses for it. I think there's probably ways that this can be improved considerably. This particular version here changes the font size of the text between the top here and the lines up here, which I put there just so that you can see what they are. And it just animates over a particular amount of time that you set on your script entry. So this one's got a script entry and exit script triggers. So on entry, animates the time, and on exit, just sets the timer back to 0. And the calculations on this label here, I believe, is all done inside the
hide object.
The hide and show object.
So is the hide object, this calculation here, is this like, I guess, looping, right? Kind of like a while. It's it's looping in here, and that's what's causing it. So it's not even a script. It's just kind of going, right?
Well, there's a script in the background which does a window refresh.
Okay.
And every time the window refreshes or the object refreshes, it forces FileMaker to perform the calculation.
Got it.
In here, which looks at the animation percentage and changes the value of the size per iteration, or every time the anim percentage. Anim percent value changes, it causes the hide object win to re-evaluate.
So for everyone here, so when Neil sent me this file, I was like, okay, little animation going across. When he started like having labels fly up, and it even gets better, but he has labels fly up. All right, do this one. Try just hit this one. You got to do this. Hit this. Just like, make this happen. Watch this. Huh. I'm so excited. So yes, everyone's enjoying this. Look at that. Look at that. The right one is off the. Well, they're both great, but look at the right one. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh. So yes, yeah.
So
So
these ones,
it's probably painful to implement, but damn, does this not look sexy or what? This is makes wow.
this is now it's there. It's actually really quite easy to implement. These are now based on a very very small animate label custom function.
Huh?
So
Yeah,
you
so
need
everyone's over here slobbering. They can't believe how awesome this is. It's like, so now you know why I was bringing it to you, right? When I saw this, it was like in my inbox. I'm like, dude, we got to get Neil to the live stream. This is awesome.
Excellent. Yeah, so this one's very easy to implement now using a quick let function and the custom function here, which is the animate label. It allows you to change all sorts of different things. There's a few different calculations in there based on iPad or Mac or Windows, which changes some of the different sizing because of, as we all know, Windows and Mac and iOS render their fonts very differently.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm blown away.
Yeah, all right. This one here is a little bit of it's the same style of thing. You click in the thing and the label moves, and if there's something in the label, obviously it stays where it's meant to be. So there's now the other thing, this label here is fed from the comments. So if we look at the define file, if we go down to, I don't know, one of these, I can't remember which one it is. Here we go, label from comments, text 2, label from comments in French and Italian. Just a fairly simplistic way to do different fonts in different things.
Yeah.
So this allows you to do different, but it also allows you to do different language sizes. So the start size can change based on the language, which means you can deal with something like the French text here, which is quite long, is actually a smaller font than the English.
Yep, that would make sense. Yeah, I'm blown away. Just keep going. This is amazing. I mean, are we even halfway done? I don't even know if we're halfway done yet. This is pretty amazing.
Yeah, we're getting close. I reckon we're getting pretty close. Same sort of scenario. Only the first one has got multiple languages in here, but we can have a selection here. This one drives the font, but it also up in the top right hand corner puts in what the old value was, which I think could be useful in some scenarios.
Yeah, this is another super useful. So go do a couple iterations of that. So go ahead and put the thing up in the corner. Yeah, or just whatever, just file. Okay. So the
favorite thing was FileMaker.
Yeah. So you change it, and then I mean, it's really interesting. Kind of like before. It's almost like an audit trail without the audit trail, but it's kind of an audit trail. So.
Yeah, I mean, it just gives you an idea that we can actually drive these labels. I'll talk about those labels in a little bit. Okay. So this is something I was quite happy with. One of the custom functions I wrote is basically just the ability to create a gradient or get the gradient percentage based on an input color and a start color, end color. So this one here allows us to just pick a dark green and a corn silk, and create a gradient on the fly, and yeah, create a gradient on the fly and utilize colors within the labels and the animations. There's a great this custom function I didn't write for.
All right, so Ken Tooley says you answered one of his questions, so you get a gold star for that.
Excellent.
Any people have questions along the way besides how do you do this? We're giving you the sample file. Obviously, we could tear them apart, but there's some. For us to just get through all the samples will take most of the time here, right? It'll take at least another 10 minutes to get through this. Never mind actually coding it. So, yeah.
Sure, we can have a look about that once we get to the end, I suppose.
Yeah, get to the end first.
So this is just a joining of them all together, I suppose. Just this is a place where you can just copy and paste things as you like. So it's probably the easiest place to copy and paste things from this layout. So you can see what happens, like every time I'm moving and changing, the time in this label's changing, which means that this label's updating every time. So I think there's probably some modifications that can be made to make these better. This one's animating using button bars and hiding and showing a button bar segments. No, there's no color, there's no conditional formatting in any of the examples apart from the initial one.
All right, so I want to repeat the question. So Christian said, are those color labels? So there's people on YouTube, Discord didn't see the question. So are those color labels all conditional formatting? Question mark. The answer is mostly not. They're not using
That's
conditional
correct. The only one is the first one.
Okay.
So this one here is a button bar. As you can see, the button, this also changes the percentage of the things, and buttons move or hide to show an appearance of moving. There's obviously a number of buttons here which have got different hide conditions on the left and on the right, and as it moves, it appears to move. And this is pretty much a few more different examples. And as you can see, it's slowly. They're all tied to the same animation.
All right, John Haggerty, knock it off. John Haggerty is on Discord posting things that are marginally questionable. If the nun, Mary Margaret, is in here, I want to apologize for what's happening on Discord right now, because I kept laughing so hard. I'm not even drinking and I'm laughing. If I was in any way intoxicated, that broadcast would be shot. So you guys, knock it off. Knock it off. So anyway, so yes, the animation, everyone's blown away that this is so amazing.
I suppose that this next little part is fairly simple animation, a set of animation frames with a display frame, which allows you to do something. If you have animations, each one of these frames is in a repeating field, and you can animate. Basically, just setting the field by a different piece of a different value, which I think is probably going to be an interesting, probably more expensive in terms of process than most people are going to need, but it does allow you to do some stuff. It is possible.
Oh my gosh! Wait, what is this? Is this a new one?
This is an animation that's just look. I've hunted the internet for a few different animations and turned them into animation frames. Each frame is in a repeating container field, and so these are simple, simplistic animations.
Wow.
That sort of things that are happening on the web at the moment, which we'd like to probably be able to see a little bit more in FileMaker.
The button bounced. I love that. So how did you? Is that this frames of the just playing frames?
These are playing frames.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this is not as exciting as the other stuff.
Well, it's still pretty cool. I like the fact that the ball bounces. Oh yeah, I like that too. That's very cool.
So things that are able to be done utilizing frames. Oh, and this is a small little bonus that's for TK.
Oh, TK, you returned. And
end. So that's pretty much the demonstration. There's a couple of other little pieces in here which are some of the older.
Yeah, so these are all different demos in here. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was just thinking, like, if we could have one thing, we go to the thing where you have the little text in the label, the text flies up to above the field, right? And have that as built in as part of the file. One thing. I'll take one and one only. Thank you.
They can't even get a window animation correctly. Do you think they're going to do that?
No, I don't think they're going to do anything. I think they expect us to code it in JavaScript and CSS and throw it on the screen.
Yeah, but you cannot code in JavaScript or the appearance of a native button in the layout. You know what I mean?
That's correct. That's
okay.
Correct.
So the prime of this, because I built a Star Trek animation that I showed at the beginning with Crunchy Frog. I don't know if remember the code name, what Crunchy Frog was. It was a code name of FileMaker 12. Okay, so what I need to say about this is simple. The code is awesome. Neil nailed completely all their, every single corner of FileMaker. He knows, all those things we do, putting let statement that get triggered because you hide something, and then you have a custom function that so he knows how to get scripting without scripting. That means what he's doing here is doing kind of a script without using calculation. Okay, so this is the code is awesome.
Yep. Yep.
But you understand, Neil, that we cannot, as a developer, for example, you can have 200 field on the layout with this implemented.
You would be nuts if you even went putting something.
So but
this is your logon form or something very small.
But you can have kind of a nice form, like for example, I'm seeing like a nice FileMaker Go form where you enter first name, last name, address and phone number. You could use that as the front of an application on Go and stuff like that. I'm going to steal some stuff like
no, you cannot steal. Well, you have to gracefully ask permission. Neil.
We ask the permission, but I'm going to steal.
Neil, when we may steal your stuff, Neil, can we steal your stuff?
Okay.
Please go ahead.
I'm getting robbed all year long, so I can steal something.
No, I'm happy. You guys have taught me quite a lot of stuff over the years, so I'm more than happy to share.
Yeah. No, the code is awesome. I mean, you can definitely this can inspire people to do something else with this. I mean, this is one application of those techniques you're using, but you can. I'm seeing plenty. Actually, there's many I'm using to get data out of to get information, not doing visual stuff, but it's awesome to learn if you can when somebody can learn how that works. If you understand how it works, then that will open new doors to do so many things without scripting, because this is what the point here.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what else to say. I'm kind of shot. There was a question from Michael Gravel on YouTube. He said, hey, if I have this running on a solution on server, is this going to be a heavy hit to the server? And my answer is no. It did
No, not at
primarily
all.
it works on Pro and Go. It'll cause a hit on Pro and Go, kind of like what you're seeing here. If you attempt to run on WebDirect, either it won't work or it will cause a hit on WebDirect.
Yeah.
So, Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question about. So Neil is using a lot of refresh window. Um, can you, for example, can you group all the object together, put a name, and say get a refresh object instead of window?
It's possible, but as when I was doing the testing, the refresh object on Windows at least was a lot slower than refresh window.
Really?
Yeah.
But that's because you're using 19. Have you did you do the test with 18? Because
I'll have to have a look again. I haven't been.
I want to say thank you to really kick some serious ass with this. This is amazing. I mean, I don't know if it's practical at all. Probably not, but it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. It should serve as inspiration to Claris, I think. So
yeah, it's a really good proof of concept. I'm going to use some of this because so far, okay. For example, I never had the time to, to spare doing things like this, but I saw many things online doing things like this, but nothing elegant like this, and I like. I like the way it looks under the hood even more than the way it looks on the surface. Okay, like recently I had an argument with the guy who, sold me my antique piano because he said, "Oh, why you want to change this?" I said, "Because it doesn't look good." But who cares? I said, I care. It doesn't look good. It works, but it doesn't look good. So here the code looks perfect, and that's why I like it. And so yeah.
David says the label with the field is very good. Looks like Gmail centered email. He liked it. Yeah, it makes FileMaker copy Google, right? All right, cool. All right. Any other questions, folks? Questions.
I wish FileMaker could do a better job in terms of animation and because animation, and I'm going to cover that, during my 10 days of what's the name on design principle and UI UX design guideline and principle. The animation have a meaning. They have a purpose. They actually have a role, a prominent role on the understanding of what's happening. Okay. So it's not just, oh, it looks good, and FileMaker doesn't get that very well because they screw up completely their animation on Go, for the sliding up, everything. It's not. But I understand the problem they have is because of you show different. You show different records and stuff like that, so they have a problem. Especially, the animation on the slide controls, for example. Even that is not native. It doesn't look correct, right? So anyway, it's but this is very cool.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you from FMTrain.tv. We've got great sample files. We have everything that you need to be successful in the world of FileMaker. Thanks to Neil from Australia for getting up early in the morning and giving us an awesome tour. If you want to reach out to Neil and you want to talk to Neil, you want to see Neil, well, I'm sure his contact information is in the file somewhere. But how would they reach out to you, Neil? How do they get a hold of you?
Get on the Discord.
All right. Well,
message me on the Discord. Otherwise, I might put some contact details in the file. This time I didn't have any. This was only a preview. But.
Okay, well, email him there if you want to hire him to do your event planning, considering that the event planning business is in big trouble right now. So that would be great.
Oh, yeah.
So that's awesome. All right. I appreciate everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Richard.
guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected the quarterback. Great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Trying to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and starts a high throw and lands inside the 10, rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.